Hello, I'm Kurt Waldrop, and this is Radical Freedom. So, reason I'm up here today is, well, on Sunday I went to church. Yes, I do that occasionally. Strange to think. But I kind of wish I hadn't gone to church this time, because instead of getting that uplifting sermon about God's love, or maybe getting a chance to say thank you for all the blessings in my life, I got a factually flawed, let's say, sermon about gun control. Seriously? Gun control? This is a small Texas town. Now, our normal minister didn't give the sermon. In fact, it was our deacon who did it. And let's just say that she is a far left-leaning liberal. Now, why she's a deacon in a church in a small Texas town is beyond me. Very few, if any, of our congregation actually believe even her viewpoints. But she started off by talking about the Parkland shooting. Now, I thought she'd just be asking for belated prayers for the victims. Or maybe we should try harder to show love and understanding for teens and help them cope with all the turmoil that takes place during these years. But no. She talked about how she first heard about the news, and it hurt her and it made her really sad. Then a week later, she heard someone saying something about arming teachers. Oh, the horror! Yeah. She stated that she pulled into her driveway and just screamed and screamed. Always the mature and rational way of handling a situation, I say, right? The reason this really hits me in the gut is I have 2 kids. Now, crazy me, I want my kids protected. I would like my kids to go to school and know they're safe. What I know is a no gun sign is not going to keep them safe. There's been one single thing that has eliminated all school shootings, every single place it's been tried, and that is training and arming teachers. Now, in Israel, the terrorists would regularly target schools and the children in them. But that all changed when all Israeli teachers were required by law to be trained with firearms and to have them on their person at all times. Now you're saying, Israel? Wow, yeah, that's some kind of weird special circumstance, and that couldn't possibly apply here. But there are also campuses in the United States where teachers have the option to train and carry. And there hasn't been a single shooting on those campuses either. Kind of makes me crazy that someone would actually be against something that works because of an irrational fear of firearms, instead spew the usual drivel about banning some types of guns as a middle ground approach. Well, newsflash, Sparky, I'm not interested in a middle ground approach to make someone irrationally feel good. In my world, something either works or it doesn't work. My background's in engineering. So I'm only interested in results, not good intentions. I do know that criminals love soft targets. I've never heard of a mass shooting at an NRA convention, because they wouldn't last very long if they did that. Law-abiding gun owners have incrementally given up our rights a little at a time for over 80 years. And now I say enough is enough! Why do we want to keep punishing the people that aren't breaking any laws? Please, someone explain that to me. Every time someone bad commits a crime, the law-abiding are expected to give up some of our liberty. And I'm really tired of the left saying how they don't want to end the Second Amendment, which, by the way, I think that's also drivel. I think they really do want to end the Second Amendment. But they say they just want some common sense gun control. Well, I'm curious, whose common sense? The common sense of those that think gun-free zones actually work? No, please, don't give me a glass of warm piss and call it Granny's peach tea. Yeah, I got that from a movie, if you recognize it, but it applies. Okay, look. First, the Second Amendment was what the founders called one of our natural rights. That is, the right to protect yourself is a part of nature. And it's not something that can be voted on. That's why they call it a right and not a privilege. If the Second Amendment is ever repealed, I doubt most American gun owners would even comply. I mean, what if they passed a law saying I have to cut off 2 fingers on my left hand? No. This is a nation of laws, but there are some laws that are not moral laws, and that is not moral. Second, I do believe that politics should be left outside of church. That it is a mistake for a church to start preaching against the Constitution. Yeah, at that point, you're preaching against the United States. And if you're preaching against our country, why are you even here? Time to leave. Third thing, when gun grabbers want to talk about how if it saves a single child's life, then we should ban guns. Well, does that mean that maybe they should support cutting government funding from Planned Parenthood, which would guaranteed save millions of kids' lives? Why is tax money even being spent to kill babies anyway? Can someone explain that? Yeah, I get if a woman's life is in danger or she's been raped or something, but couldn't a hospital do that? No. Before you go into it, don't tell me Planned Parenthood is about breast exams and all. They don't do breast exams! They refer people to, doctors or clinics to do that. So no, I'm not a fan of Planned Parenthood, the founder of whom, Margaret Sanger, once referred to certain members of the human race as human weeds that needed to be pulled from their garden. Yeah, that's what I like. Someone who sounds like she's quoting Hitler. Well, newsflash, Hitler was quoting her. He was a big fan. Point number 4, I realize that I will tick a lot of people off with this one, but I say we should follow the example of Israel. All teachers should be trained with firearms. And there should be a number of firearms in every school at all times. Now, I know there are many teachers out there that would whine and moan about this. Well, you know what? I say that if they have a problem carrying weapons to protect their children, my solution is real simple. Okay, you ready? If you have less than 5 years as a teacher, now if you have more than 5 years, if they really bitch and moan, you can let them slide. More than 5 years, I'll let you go because you didn't know what you're signing on to. But if you have less than 5 years as a teacher, if you're unwilling to do a little bit more work and train so that you can protect the children you teach, you have no business being a teacher anyway. All new teachers should receive compulsory training when they're going to college in the use of weapons and how to protect their kids. Now, back when I was a teacher, I would have had 0 problems doing this as a rule. And you know, the nicest compliment ever given me by one of my students was, Mr. Waldrop, this is the one place in school I feel completely safe. Your classroom. That made me feel warm and fuzzy all inside, and I didn't even have access to a gun. I had access to a chemical closet they could hide in, and a big aluminum pole that I was going to beat the crap out of anybody who stuck their head in there if there was a lockdown because of an on-school shooting. Yeah, I might have gotten killed. But you know what? When you're a teacher, the kids you're responsible for, well, you're responsible for. If you don't care enough about them to put yourself in front of the bullet, you shouldn't be a teacher. My point with arming teachers is, why should you have to put yourself between the kids and the shooter? Because that pretty much works for one shot. Then the teacher falls to the floor and the bad guy kills the kids. Unacceptable. I want to get rid of the shooter before he can hurt any of those kids. Why do we need to have guns in a school? The same reason that we have fire extinguishers in a school. Just in case. Yeah, I know. This makes me crazy because of the incredible lack of logic that went behind the statements that set me off in the first place. Now, I'm at the end, but I'm going to do something here that I never do. And I'm going to end this video with a Bible verse. Just think about this for a moment. This is Luke 22:36. Jesus was speaking, and he ended what he was saying with the words, "And the one who has no sword must sell his cloak and buy one." Our kids have no swords to protect themselves with in school, nor should they. But those teachers should be prepared to protect those kids. Anyway, thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you agree, and if you disagree, that's fine. Give me a thumbs down. But please tell me why. Also, if you enjoyed this video or any of my other videos, please subscribe and take a look at my book on Amazon, Radical Freedom. Now, no matter what it says on the page, if you order one, you will get it within a week, and maybe even quicker if you have Amazon Prime. It's print on demand, so as soon as you order one, one will be printed up and sent straight to your door. You get it nice and hot and fresh. So this is Kurt Waldrop. Until next time, stay free, my friends. Bye for now.